people say I am the best boss.
How will you come out of... Speak.
Holy crap, my new computer is here. Hey guys, what is going on? This is iAppleGeek, and today I'll be unboxing for you guys Apple's 2018 MacBook Pro. The model I have in-house today is the 13-inch baseline touch bar MacBook Pro with a 16GB RAM upgrade. Included in the box is the MacBook Pro itself, underneath it we have a USB-C to USB-C charging cable because this MacBook does not use MagSafe. We also have a quick start guide as well as a USB-C charging brick to power the MacBook. This MacBook Pro sports the same chassis design as the 2016 and 2017 MacBook Pro models. However, there are quite a number of changes inside. This year we finally get a 13-inch MacBook Pro with a quad-core processor, and if you do opt in for the 15-inch model, you'll get a hexa-core processor, which is even more powerful than previous generations. The touch bar remains the same on this model as the previous generations. You still have Touch ID, however you do have a new T2 security chip built in to handle Touch ID as well as other things like the True Tone display and Hey Siri, which is now available on the Mac. Now all of this year's touch bar MacBook Pros have been refreshed with Intel's 8th generation Coffee Lake processors. Now translating that into English, we basically now have more power for the same amount of power consumption, which means these more powerful processors will be able to be jam-packed into the same space. No need to make the laptop bigger to make it faster. And of course, with great cores come great responsibility, so here is the Geekbench score compared to my old dual-core 13-inch MacBook Pro from 2014. And as you guys can see here, the single core score is not too far off from the new MacBook Pros, however the multi-core score is where the new ones shine. This is going to allow much better performance across the board, so there's less lag, fewer dropped frames, so this is a significant upgrade if you're looking for a powerhouse to do photo editing, video editing, anything that requires a strong CPU. But I will say on the flip side of that, if you're just a normal consumer, you don't do too many intense things on your device, then you're probably not going to need something of this magnitude because this much power is really overkill for just a normal web browsing or word processing laptop. If having macOS is important to you, you can still have all these features on a cheaper MacBook. Now with all this new power, there comes a hidden change that you may not have known about. This change is actually in the USB-C ports on the 13-inch MacBook Pro because the previous models of the 13-inch MacBook with the touch bar only had 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, whereas the other 2 on the other side were just power ports, like the standard USB-C ports. They weren't full speed Thunderbolt 3 just because the processor couldn't handle it. However, with the quad-core Coffee Lake processors, all 4 ports are now full speed. This is more of a value feature because now you don't have to upgrade to the bigger 15-inch model to get those 4 full speed ports. Now speaking of size, if you're coming from a previous generation MacBook Pro, one that's rocking the old design with all the ports on the side, this is going to be a major size change for you. My first impressions of this device when I opened the box, it was how thin it was. It's crazy. So if you're looking for a MacBook that's thin and portable, but not quite as light as the 12-inch MacBook, this is the way to go. Other than that, the new MacBook Pro has a new keyboard. It's the 3rd generation Butterfly keyboard, although it's not really that new since we have seen it before. It is said to have better durability though, but we'll see how that holds up. The display now has a True Tone technology built in, just like the iPad Pro and the iPhone X. Resolution remains the same as the 2016 and 17 models, so nothing big here. I do have to say though, having smaller bezels is a huge plus. Alright, so the $2,000 question is, should you buy this MacBook Pro? And this time, I think it's actually worth it. The previous MacBook Pros offered a new design, but not really much of a speed upgrade. This one, however, really catches up, and I think makes the USB-C dongle life worth living. But anyways guys, do you guys think this MacBook is worth buying? Be sure you let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.